Presenting Blue Beast Tales by the Paranoid PI. Featuring The Cave of Sogradem. The salt spray stung Leo's cheek as he and Toby scrambled across the wet, black rocks of Blackwood Cove. Tucked into the towering cliffside, accessible only during the lowest ebb of the tide, sat a yawning dark fissure known locally as the Cave of Sogradem. Legend says it holds whatever you want most, Toby panted, clutching his flashlight. Inside, the air felt unnaturally warm, humming with a low, vibrational buzz. The jagged limestone walls sloped inward, framing the entrance like a natural shadow box, a threshold between harsh reality and illusory light. As they crept deeper, Leo's foot caught on a slippery rock. "Hold up, I left my pocket knife outside near the ledge," Leo said. "Don't go too far." He turned and stepped back into the blinding afternoon sun, leaving Toby alone in the dark chamber. The moment Leo crossed the cave's threshold, the shadowy rock face behind Toby dissolved. Toby gasped, dropping his flashlight. The cold stone had morphed into a sprawling mahogany desk stretching as far as the eye could see. It was stacked high with every video game console imaginable, humming on glowing CRT monitors, alongside steaming boxes of pepperoni pizza whose rich, savory scent filled the damp air. It was a dizzying rush, an endless playground tailored to every fleeting whim of a 10-year-old boy. High scores, unlimited junk food, zero rules. "Leo! Get in here! You won't believe this!" Toby yelled, his voice echoing back to him. Leo hurried back inside. "What are you talking about?" The instant Leo set foot back in the cave, the desk, the games, and a warm smell vanished. The cave was just damp, shadowy limestone once more. Toby blinked in utter disbelief. "It was right here. I swear." "Go back outside, look again." Skeptical, Toby shoved Leo toward the entrance, stepping outside himself to prove a point. Now, Leo was left alone in the silence of the cave. The shadows on the cavern wall began to shift, casting faint, flickering shapes like puppet silhouettes against a firelit wall. The cold subterranean hum smoothed out into a sound Leo hadn't heard in years, warm, ringing laughter. The dark walls softened into the cozy living room of his old house. There sat his parents, smiling, whole, and side by side at the dinner table, calling his name with unconditional warmth. It wasn't endless physical treasures, it was simply the complete, happy family he grieved for every day. Tears welled in Leo's eyes as he took a step toward the comforting illusion, desperate to believe the shadows were real. Outside, Toby grew impatient and ducked back in. "See anything?" The living room shattered like glass. Leo stood frozen in the damp dark, his heart aching. "It only works when you're alone," Leo whispered, realizing the cruel trick of Sogradem. It projected the deepest ache of the solitary mind, forcing them to mistake mere shadows for true substance. "My turn." Toby laughed, intoxicated by the memory of his ultimate playroom. He grabbed Leo by the shoulders and shoved him toward the sunlight. Get out, get out. I want to play." Leo stumbled outside onto the beach. He turned back to see Toby bathed in a strange, flickering golden light, laughing maniacally as he grabbed at air, thoroughly trapped in his private paradise. "Toby, we have to go. The tide is coming in," Leo yelled from the threshold. "No way. I'm never leaving." Toby cheered, entirely consumed by the phantom rush. "Toby, please." Leo reached for him, but Toby kicked his hand away, refusing to trade his perfect illusion for the harsh, cold world outside. Desperate, Leo turned and ran across the jagged rocks toward the holiday house to fetch Toby's parents. The tide was surging, cold sea foam slipping through his fingers like grains of sand as he scrambled up the cliff path. 10 minutes later, Leo sprinted back down the beach, Toby's panicked parents right behind him. The ocean was already slapping against the cliffside, closing off the entrance. Leo lunged through the shallow water into the cave of Sogradem. Toby! The cave was empty. The mahogany desk was gone, the golden light had died, and the cold tide rolled silently over the slick, barren floor. Toby had vanished into the shadows, leaving behind nothing but his flashlight, floating silently in the dark water.